Talk about hair on your arms standing up. Man, you're ready to run through a wall.
Brown 45! Brown 45!
I'm dropping back 50 years here. Sunday at 12:30. We've just come home from church. We made it just in time. My life was complete at that point.
Oh, wow. You are looking live at the NFL Today on CBS, home of Super Bowl 58.
You are looking live at sold-out Soldier Field in Chicago. You are looking live at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. You are looking live at the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
You are looking live.
You're looking live.
You are looking live.
This was the program that set the day for America.
Oh, Lord, that scared me.
The refrigerator is standing by along with Walter Payton. Take it away.
Wait, Peyton's pinching my leg here. Watch yourself here, big fella.
What are the odds on the Dolphins?
15-1 they don't go clear through the Super Bowl.
I'll take a little of that.
I don't believe it. I'm scared because I think it's going to hurt, but it really doesn't hurt.
This set reminds me so much of every Sunday. Irv Cross was alongside, ready to give his expertise.
Morale in camp is very high, but when you get the ball players off the field, they say, you really don't like this act.
And then we would introduce the star of the show, former Miss America, Phyllis George.
Played a touch football game the other day. Phyllis George was a pretty rough player.
Tackled you, I know.
Second year, we added Jimmy the Greek.
They should win the ball game. If they don't, they should be taken out and shot.
After Phyllis left us for a while, Jayne Kennedy is added.
How much religious literature do you think Jayne will get this week?
How could you not wait 12:28, 12:29, 12:30?
I couldn't be 1 minute late because I'm going to miss You Are Looking Live.
It was the first live pregame show. Prior to that, on CBS, they had actually taped the countdown to kickoff on Friday afternoon.
Okay, this is the NFL pregame, show number 7, opening with the tease.
Hi, I'm Frank Gifford.
Bob Wussler, who was the head of CBS Sports, thought what was missing was a live element in the studio, giving updates, highlights, do the halftime, pregame, postgame.
So the Steelers score. Now you're looking live at the Cowboy. Oh, what a great machine my director, Bob Fishman, has in the control room.
All the highlights came in and were recorded on these big, giant Ampex reels of videotape. So the plays would be recorded on one machine, the edit machine would be on a second machine, and they would be simul-rolled, which, by the way, when you rewound it, you couldn't see the video.
In order to get scores from the other games, we had a person sitting on a telephone talking to each game site.
You wanted me to leave this phone open?
Yeah, I do. I want you to stay with me.
There was a scoreboard on the set, changed manually. Before that, the only highlights the viewer saw was from the game that they were watching. We were able to cut highlights and be able to show other games.
Let's test our videotape room and see if I can get some action from that game out on the West Coast already. If we've got it, we'll take a look. And here we are on the money.
For a broadcaster that had to call it on the fly and wing it, no one had ever attempted to do that before. Brent made it look so easy. The NFL Today changed the culture of sports studio shows.
Can we raise Irv Cross's mic, please? Chico?
Yeah.
Irv Cross set footprints so big that individuals like me could walk in. He becomes the first African American to co-anchor a network program. there were people putting their careers at risk and said, yes, I do believe that a black athlete can speak about this game as intelligently as anybody else.
Walter.
Matter of fact, they might have a deeper connection because the league is 60% black. So maybe we need a black voice in these rooms.
You know what you ought to do? You ought to forget all this what's on these pages, okay?
Let's watch the monitor.
No, just talk and have some fun with the plays.
Yeah.
And originally, that was going to be the team on the NFL Today. Then I get a call, July, from Bob Wussler. Do you know a Miss America by the name of Phyllis George?
The new Miss America for 1971, Phyllis George, Miss Texas.
The transition from the pageant world to sports world, she did it seamlessly. I'm sure it was not easy, especially for someone who wasn't in sports television. She didn't care what anyone else thought about it. She just went out there and was just being herself.
Touchdown! John, when we walked in, I must tell you, the morale is good here. I don't know what you've done, but you've done something right with your people.
I think they're smoking.
A little joint on this.
I mean, she was the first woman to have a prominent spot on a sports desk on a major television network.
Hi, y'all. We'll tell a tale of two NFL cities today.
The male audience of the NFL, they were a little reluctant to accept a woman.
And I didn't read any criticism or listen to what they were saying because I knew I had a job to do.
You're a very private person and a mystery man to many people. Just pretend I were to ask you this question. Are you getting married anytime soon? You would probably hedge that?
No, I wouldn't hedge on that. I'm not getting married anytime soon because I don't have a lady.
She brought you in. She took you in. She engaged. She made you feel like you were right there with her.
Roger, you have an all-American image. You're kind of a straight guy. Do you enjoy it, or is it a burden?
No, I enjoy sex as much as Joe Namath. Only I do it with one girl, you know?
There you go.
But it's still fun.
It's become one of those feathers in your cap when you can say you hosted the Super Bowl pregame, because everybody knows what it is. But it didn't exist. It's amazing to think that there was a time where you just came on for a few minutes and then the Super Bowl kicked off.
We are going to take a special boat ride through Biscayne Bay. We'd love for you to come along with us on this fabulous yacht. Would you do that?
No, thank you.
And all the fun stuff to show what the party of the Super Bowl was like all started when the NFL Today leaned in for Super Bowl 10.
Joe Namath is with us on that boat, and all of a sudden, it seems like we're not going to have a show at all.
We started out at the yacht club near Biscayne Bay and got a call from Worcester that there'd been a bomb threat called in.
I was, of course, the last one to know. You all knew, and no one told me, and I heard somebody say a bomb threat. Excuse me, what'd you say, guys?
Brent, Phyllis, and Herb are still making their way toward Super Bowl number 10.
That whole show, we had to do this thinking they were going to blow up someplace. None of us lost it.
That was the day the NFL Today show and the three of us really came together.
Get rid of those microphones and get going. We got to take off. Joe, thank you very much.
Because we had to put our best foot forward under a stressful situation and make it work. And that show went off without a hitch. And from that day forward, I think the chemistry here began to build and build and build, and we just took right off.
Don't worry about it, Jimmy the Greek, because I remind you of the words of the Commissioner Pete Rozelle when he said to me, "You shall not associate with gamblers."
Are you going to the game or are you going to watch it on television here?
No, I think it's for the game.
What yard line?
On the 45-yard line.
Where'd you get those?
Well, from my bookie.
Alex, who you got?
People understood that gambling had become a very big part of football. And so, people want to know what the weather is.
Bob Fishman's father had a friend who liked to wager on the over-unders, wanted to know the weather, around the league. And I said, well, Bob, can you get me any live shots of stadiums? He said, yeah.
Phyllis and Irv, we are looking live at a picture from the Meadowlands Stadium where the Giants and the Bears are getting ready to play, and that gives you an idea of the miserable weather that Walter Payton will have to operate in.
It's an element that was way, way ahead of its time, because look what we've got now, billions of dollars bet every year on the NFL. Prior to year 2, I get a phone call from Bob Wussler again. Brent, do you know an odds maker by the name of Jimmy the Greek. I want to put the Greek on the NFL today.
4 o'clock in the morning, live here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Jimmy the Greek Snyder is the country's top odds maker for betting on sports events and political elections. And when he first drifted to Las Vegas 25 years ago, he used to play the tables himself. Now he's in the public relations business, and he writes a syndicated column. And you stay away from these tables, is that right?
Well, you have to, or you can't live here, Barbara.
I interrupted him, and I said, Bob, have you talked to Commissioner Rozelle about this? So, Bob, Brent, and the Greek go to Park Avenue, and I have no idea what Rozelle's going to say. But I did know one thing about Pete, because I saw him frequently at racetracks.
Are you concerned about the large amount of money being bet on pro football?
Well, I guess from the standpoint of popularity in the sport, from all I've read, it helps us if you want to look at it from that single standpoint, because it interests people more intently in the game when they're watching it on television or in the stadium.
It goes through the conversation and everything's great, and I'm thinking, man, this is a slam dunk. So we're getting ready to leave to go back to CBS, and he said, guys, I want to ask you one. He called it a favor. Rozelle called it a favor. Now, if the commissioner says to us, a favor ain't no favor, it's an order, okay? He said, I don't want you to say that one team is favored by 7 or 3, and my heart sinks, because that's the heart of the gambling community, okay? The point spreads.
Most people who gamble on pro football use this type of betting slip, which is distributed in offices and neighborhoods. It establishes who the favorite is and by how many points.
So we're walking back, and I go, guys, what are we going to do? The Greek said, check marks. And we all, both of us looked up, what are you talking about? He said, let me use a check mark.
One thing I think we ought to do is clarify just once again, because it's the first time we're seeing the board, that the check mark is a relative strength or, like that. Just kind of do a 10-second setup to it.
Fine, I will do.
Yeah,
okay, Jimmy, we got your analysis board.
Right. Let's call it analysis. Huh?
But I want some handicapping.
Everybody else.
That's what the audience wants.
They didn't discuss point spreads. They weren't allowed. So he had to give his picks and couch it, but everyone knew what he was talking about.
Oh, you know who the favorite's going to be. It's a question by how much. Did you see that movie about the girl with the number
10?
That's it.
The Steelers? I knew you'd find a way to do it. And Greek, what's the number likely to be in that game?
I don't know. Go big favorite, Brent.
By a lot?
Well, what does a golfer say before he hits the golf ball?
4. Wait a minute.
Well, you said that.
And his grapevine and giving out information. And, a lot of it was from Aldeas, a lot of his stuff. And they were warring because Brent was the commissioner's guy. And Greek was Al's guy. And that was the big war.
All right, Tampa Bay out in Oakland. Jimmy, let's see what you do for the... You got a check for everything there for the Raiders.
Just forget about the checks. The big problem here, of course, there is no problem here.
We went to the Playboy Mansion to shoot a segment, and James Caan, coming down the staircase, sees Jimmy and starts, you son of a... You can't pick a winner. You cost me... I mean, they were like, it was insane. And so... There was a love-hate relationship there. I mean, people who, if you listened to giving out the Raiders every week and the Raiders would lose 2 or 3 games in a row, there was a lot of hate mail.
Yeah. Besides the fact that you owe me $2, would you be kind enough to have somebody put my thingamabob on?
I'm going to beat you one of these bets one day, Jimmy.
There was a time we knew the Greek wasn't going to be able to come into the show. And I knew that Pete Rose was a football bettor. I called him on the phone. I said, Pete, can you get up here and replace Jimmy the Greek?
Instead of Jimmy the Greek, we're going to have to go with Peter the Irishman today because my man the Greek decided to take up motorcycle riding this week. And would you believe what happened to him? Well, look at how he was going there, folks, huh? Is that Evel Knievel or what? Well, unfortunately, folks, after he learned how to start it, he forgot to ask how to stop it, and he suffered some injuries. He's come along fine. We'll have him next week. All right, up to you now.
To this day, Rose has never let me forget that he went 3-1 and he said, I'm a better handicapper than the Greek.
They're going to win easy over
It's
the
the
Giants?
first time they've ever been favored on the road in the history of the franchise.
Where'd you get all that stuff? You're pretty good.
I follow football pretty good.
All
Tampa
right.
Bay will win today.
That show felt larger than life because the characters were larger than life.
Excuse me, Lynn? Hi.
Phyllis George.
I hate to bother you, but could I interview you?
Oh, hey, listen, anytime.
You're reading People, I see.
Yeah,
When People magazine did their cover story on me, inside it said, she's very lonely. And I got so many letters from men saying, well, if you're lonely, give me a call.
The Greek, he couldn't go anyplace without somebody coming up and who's going to win on Sunday, Greek?
Do either one of you watch football on Sunday afternoon? Do you dig the NFL?
Cross. Herb Cross?
Irv
Cross. I've always called him Herb because I thought Irv was a silly name. And I didn't think he was also kind of Jewish.
I was a product of television in the 70s and the Mary Tyler Moore Show and All in the Family and all of these, epic episodic television shows. But that's what the NFL today was.
We just found out a few minutes ago that the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences has presented the NFL Today with an Emmy for being the outstanding live sports series.
Wow.
And I just want to congratulate all of you. I think it's terrific.
Brent, Herb, don't mess with me no more, because you're next.
You know, last week featured a lot of marvelous running, including some running by our Irv Cross on Friday night in Central Park. Irv was jogging when he happened upon a couple of muggers and helped New York's finest run down the muggers. And Irv, congratulations on behalf of all citizens.
I'm a child of the 60s, so I went through the Vietnam War, Vietnam protests, Black Power, presidential assassinations. So to see Irv Cross on the set of the NFL Today, it was like, oh my God, this isn't really happening, But it was a baby step process. If one African American person made an advancement, it was almost as if there were no opportunities in that field for anyone else of color because they had their one.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the NFL Today. We all have certainly missed you the last few months, and this year we're all going to miss Phyllis George, who left the NFL Today to become the host of a new CBS primetime broadcast entitled People. And all of us on the NFL Today wish Phyllis nothing but the best with a new broadcast.
When it came time for me to audition for the NFL Today, I understood what my agents and people were telling me about they're not looking for a black person.
The choice of Bud Wilkinson as head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals was a major surprise.
Wilkinson, who led the University of Oklahoma
to 3 national championships, had been out of the coaching the past 14 years. I was in St. Louis earlier this week, and I asked him why he wanted to return to football and how it feels to be back.
I'd been on auditions many times. I'd been acting for 8 years. And when I saw you, it became really, really real.
What I remember most of all is how spectacular you were in that audition.
CBS Sports audition with Jayne Kennedy. Take 1.
The choice of Bud Wilkinson as head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals was a major surprise.
Auditioning was reading teleprompter copy and then 5 minutes with an athlete. We didn't know who we were going to be interviewing.
Jane, we have had Clyde Powers and Bobby Hammond in here, and they have been interviewed by a lot of our candidates, and right now they are in a duel to find out which one will be interviewed by Jayne Kennedy. You'll be back with the winner in just a moment.
You're only going to be talking to him 5 minutes. The most important thing that you need to do is just make him feel warm. I want to know about you. This is not about me. What do you want to say that you haven't said to anyone else?
If somebody could wave a magic wand or something, what do you think would be the best assets you could obtain to make you the best player possible?
Wow, that's an excellent question. I think
the one thing that talent must bring to a studio show, they have to be good listeners. And you were immediately a good listener.
And what I heard when you went back to the director's booth, you said it's Jayne or nobody. Bob Fishman, the director, Mike Pearl, producer, they all agreed. We want Jayne on the show. The attorneys for CBS were afraid that having 2 blacks on the show and 1 white would be a problem with the Southern affiliates, and they did not want the Southern affiliates to pull out. Jimmy the Greek was already on the show, but not on the desk. So they then put Jimmy the Greek on the desk, which made it 1 white, 1 black, 1 white, 1 black. And that's how I got my job, but it still was only a 6-week trial period.
It's indeed my pleasure today to welcome the newest member of our NFL Today team, Jayne Kennedy, who grew up cheering Jim Brown in Cleveland and now lives in Los Angeles wondering what's going on with the Rams.
Jim
Jayne?
would like to hear that. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for just being friends on the show. I'm going to appreciate that a lot.
Do you make her the favorite, Greek? A heavy favorite, right?
There are lessons to be learned in broadcasting. This was your first.
Earlier this week, I visited hometown Cleveland, Ohio with Sam Ritigliano, and I found him to be one of pro football's truly nice guys, who has no intentions, by the way, of finishing last. Everybody told me, where do you meet Sam? He's such a nice guy. Do you think that that might be a problem for you?
You know, being a nice guy and getting the job done is, really 2 different things. I think something.
Jayne, unfortunately, you just learned one of the first lessons of live television, and that is that anything can happen at any moment. And we're terribly sorry we couldn't hear the rest of the interview, but basically, Sam is optimistic about the Browns this year. Is that right, Jayne?
He's very optimistic, and he says that his main thing this year is going to be to win the season. He doesn't want to be judged from day to day. He wants to be judged at the end of the season.
You picked up as though nothing had happened. That was amazing.
I was freaking out, to be quite honest, because, you did the lead-in that I was going to be able to go to my next segment, and I'm hearing Bob Fishman in my earpiece, and he's saying, Jayne, you're going to have to fill because the tape machine just ate your tape. And it was my first day, my very first day.
I got to disagree with Jimmy and Irv about the Rookie of the Year, though. You know, Jimmy's going to go down with Chandler, the outstanding receiver, and Irv, he wants to stick with Doug Williams, the fine quarterback from Tampa Bay. I'm going to pick Jayne Kennedy. You are no longer a rookie. You have passed the test today, Jayne.
Maybe second week into the show, I heard Sports Spectacular people arguing because they wanted to get an interview with Muhammad Ali post-fight with Leon Spinks in New Orleans. And I just nudged my way in. I said, I can get you the interview. I called Ali. I said, this is only 2 weeks into my 6-week trial. I want to get this job. But if I get the interview with you, I think it will speak a lot for me.
I'm granting you something special because you are the greatest like I am the greatest.
Monday morning, I got a call from CBS New York, and they picked up my contract for the whole year.
Old Franco, he's a running hard and building up some steam. While Swanee's running perfect routes and scoring in between. The steel curtain's playing tough and looking downright mean. And as for me, I'm Terry B, and I run this whole machine.
Hey, Jayne, you know, on my day off, I usually have to come in and watch films, and then they told me the Jews coming in town, and wasn't no way I was going home after I got through watching film.
I knew that Jimmy the Greek was on and Brent was on, but I watched because of Jayne Kennedy. The first time I saw Jayne Kennedy on TV, number one, I said, oh my God, she's so pretty. Look at her hair, look at her skin. And then I thought, she's so smart.
Tom, ever since I've known you, you've always been very low-key, very cool, very laid back. Are you really serious about all this Hollywood stuff?
Oh, no, Jayne, it's a mere myth.
I had never seen anybody like her doing what she did on television during that time, and it made me so proud.
Oprah Winfrey told me every Sunday, Gail and I would sit and watch you, and she would say that you made us believe that we could do this too.
Did you know the Greek's pissed?
The Greek is angry, and we're heading into another one of the same old things, I'd say.
I would suggest that you and I not drink in the same saloon with the old fart tonight.
Jayne Kennedy is flying high in the sky over the Coliseum in Los Angeles in KNX-TV's Chopper 2. Jayne?
Irv, I tell you, I've never been more excited in my entire life. My very first Super Bowl. And what
I'm up in a helicopter circling over, talking to you, and some of my pieces get bumped. And instead of going to my piece, there was a throwaway to Phyllis George at a restaurant in Beverly Hills.
With me is the beautiful Phyllis George Brown.
Well,
darling, how you having a great time?
I am really having a great time, and you're right.
It must have been that she was negotiating to come back with that Super Bowl appearance.
Something was going on that I wasn't aware of. And I was angry, I was hurt, and I jumped off the helicopter when it landed, and Irv was the first person there. And he just grabbed me and he said, "It's already done, Jayne." And he said, "There's nothing you can do."
Jayne, nice to see you back from Chopper 2.
Oh, it's good to be back, and don't you ever have any more surprises for me, Brent. That was enough.
And then several months later, I get this telegram saying that you're fired.
We got a surprise for everybody just about to come up. We've got a guest in our studio, a fellow by the name of Hollywood. That's his nickname, Thomas Henderson.
Well, I hate to say this. I'm still boggled about it.
We miss our queen, Jayne Kennedy. Really
Indeed.
do.
I'm glad that you mentioned that,
Yes,
because she has gone to work for another network like you're going to work for another football team.
Well,
and that
I
happens
just-
in life
well,
sometimes.
we miss her.
Okay.
She's still the queen of football.
Thomas and all the other black players in the NFL supported me 100%. And I could not have done it without them. It meant everything in the world to black families all across America who could look at their television set and said, "Look at this young woman, look at what she's doing." Because when did we have a chance to have someone in that position before? To have that taken away was like a blow that we've been far too accustomed to over the centuries.
Hello, everyone. This is a very special day for me because just 5 years ago today, we all got together for the first time, and I'm so happy to be back. And
Management liked Phyllis. She left on very good terms. Jayne had done a fabulous job for us. But, you know, the cast of characters changes, and you go on with whatever management tells you to do.
You want me to start the interview?
No, just...
Because this is more fun than the interview.
small talk. Oh, so yeah, we got all this on, it's live.
See, Terry's feelings were hurt because I didn't interview him during my
No,
3
they
years.
weren't. No, they weren't. Because I was waiting on Kennedy.
Oh, please.
I knew you were going to be, I knew that.
know I was gonna
I knew you were going to get big time, and you'd be gone in a couple of years. And I said, I know they're going to have the Greek.
Could have had Jimmy the Greek.
He's lost so much money on this issue. There's no way the Greek would even attempt.
What do you think of him?
The Greek?
Mm-hmm.
Irv and Jimmy got along famously. The Greek and Phyllis, that's a different story. The Greek introduced her to John Y. Brown. He had been the PR man for John Y.'s Kentucky Fried Chicken, sold out of it and became the governor of the state of Kentucky. And that's how Phyllis became the first lady. But that leads to the friction, because when John Y. sells out and he paid off the people who participated, the Greek thought he was shortchanged.
Jimmy's big thing was, this blankety blank owes me money, okay? Which no one knew was a big part of it to Jimmy, and Jimmy went after Phyllis with John Y. Brown more than once.
On the set, 30 seconds to airtime, the Greek says something to Phyllis, she starts to cry, and the Greek says, "I don't dislike you, Phyllis, but I hate your husband."
A lot of folks called and said, "Where's Phyllis?" Very good question is my response, but I have it on good authority that one suitcase is packed, and she's due here within the next couple of weeks. Actually, as you know, Phyllis, of course, and her husband, John Y. Brown, just had their first child, and Phyllis needs a little time, going to take a big vacation, and she'll be here in a couple of weeks. Jimmy the Greek, you just said a very intriguing thing.
The Greek loved it. He got more time, you know? That's what he always wanted.
Dallas definitely has more.
He always wanted more airtime. Because basically when he started, we gave him 3 minutes. He's at his board, and that was it.
I sure hope our board, manages to come along here a little bit.
I mean, he complained to me. He says, "How come I don't get more close-ups?" I said, "Because you're not talking."
Look who we welcome back, Phyllis George.
Here's Phyllis. Hi, guys. It's good to see you. I must say I've been watching the last 5 weeks, and you all are a super team. I'm not so sure you need me to come back here and be with you, although it is a good feeling. I feel like it's kind of like a family reunion, especially the Greek. Look at him over there. He's studying and doing his homework. Are you going to be big today? You going to win today?
I hope so.
I had a baby, and I came back to work finally. There was a little excitement. Brent was asking a lot of questions.
Honey, are these brutes that you have to work with every week? Holy cow.
Jimmy felt like he didn't have as much time as had the weeks before while I was gone.
Phyllis, so many people have asked me, how can they write a card or send a telegram to Steve Little?
Brent was the boss. Brent was going to decide who got what. That was it.
We've got some great football games about ready to start.
Oh, we're going to go to Atlanta right now to the
Greek was very sensitive to his role.
Since its creation in 1935, the Heisman Trophy has been the Nobel Prize.
Musburger decided whether you were going to be good that day, or great that day, or terrible that day. And he could bring that whole solar system down in a second if he wanted to.
Now, I cannot wait to hear what Jimmy's going to say about the Falcons and the Rams. What are you going to say, Jimmy?
We can't give him a hint.
Okay.
That's coming up a little bit later.
Greek had a temper, and Greek was a tough guy.
Both quarterbacks are playing super football. Ferragamo's passing.
That night, I guess Jimmy and Brent went to a bar in New York called Pear Trees.
And the Greek comes in, and clearly he's been around town, and he's got a little buzz on, and kind of hits me in the shoulder like this, and upset with me for not giving him more time on the air. I need more time. You're catering to Philip.
Well, I've never repeated that to anybody, what he said.
This one time.
This one time, he says, I'm going to put you on a wall and plaster you like a poster. And I said, when are you going to do this? And I hit him.
Jimmy punched Brent in the face, and it was a little bit of a scene.
My brother jumps across the table at him, and I'll never forget, the Greek had a beer bottle in his hand, and he smashed it against the bar, broke it open for a weapon. And the bartender is the smartest dude in the room. He turns all the lights off. Nobody could see anybody. So by the time they turned them back on, everybody had settled down. The only problem was there was a guy who was working on the city desk at the New York Post who was at the bar.
It was simmering for a while. He thought there were times where Brent was not being good to him. Greek grew up on the streets. He was not someone you could push around. So the fact that he would throw a right hook doesn't surprise anybody.
Van Gordon Sauter, the head of CBS Sports at the time, called up. He was going to fire the Greek. And I said, don't fire the Greek. I said, we'll make this work. It's a couple of brothers had a spat.
I guess I'm always making headlines. But here's one you can forget. Neither Don King or Bob Arum will offer $10 million for a rematch between Brent and the Greek.
And what did that do? For me, at least, just made it even better. Like, okay, there's a little tension. We're fine.
Round two.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that Jimmy the Greek was right on target last Sunday. Now, Jimmy, let's see how you do this Sunday. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers 4-4 against the Green Bay Packers.
Did the network fire the Greek because of his racist remarks? Or was it because his star had already crashed from the heavens?
Coming up at the half, scores and highlights and a farewell to Phyllis. Those are sad words to say.
I think there was such a great feeling about Phyllis George being a part of your television football Sundays that when she left, you understood it was almost like a great character on one of your favorite shows was leaving.
Phyllis George is leaving us on the NFL today, but she remains a part of our extended family here at CBS because next month, Phyllis embarks on a new challenge with the CBS Morning News.
It has really been a marvelous experience here. And you have to know that when you've been a part of a family and you're not really leaving, you're just saying goodbye for a while. I've grown so much through the years as a professional, as a broadcaster, and as a person.
We feel the same tears you feel right now. This family's been very close for a number of years, and we're going to miss you. And good luck with your new assignment.
Thank you.
But there's one good thing about it. I get to watch her 5 mornings every week.
Hey, you promise you'll do that?
I promise.
We had a show called CBS Sports Spectacular. And I hosted the studio show out of the NFL Today studio with the Greek 2 days after that taping. I'm walking through a restaurant, and I look up at a monitor, and there's a shot of Jimmy the Greek on a slide right over the anchor's shoulder. The volume is down, and they're going on and on and on. Of course, what do I assume? He's passed away. I was just with him 48 hours ago. I run to a payphone. No one remembers what a payphone was. I call Mike Francesa. I said, Mike, I'm over in Hawaii. I'm looking up at the TV. I can't believe it. How did the Greek die? He said, Jimmy, he didn't die. It's much worse.
In Washington today, the local NBC television station interviewed people about the state of race relations on this Martin Luther King's birthday. That elicited this response from Jimmy the Greek.
The black is a better athlete to begin with because he's been bred to be that way, because of his high thighs and big thighs that goes up into his back, and they can jump higher and run faster because of their bigger thighs, you see. The white man has to overcome that, but they don't try hard enough to overcome it.
He wandered into an area where he was not an expert, unfortunately. He'd been drinking at lunch.
This goes back all the way to the Civil War, when during the slave trading, the slave owner would breed his big black to his big woman, so that he could have a big black kid. See, now I mean that's where it all started.
He asked me to come down, and I said, Jimmy, they had every big CBS executive in the world down there. They had everybody. I said, Jimmy, I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do down there. I mean, this has gotten way past me. I can't do anything.
CBS reportedly asked Jimmy the Greek at that point to resign. He said no. He wanted to come on the air and take the heat for what he said. And then reportedly Neil Pilson, who runs CBS Sports, says no, I can't let you do that. And Jimmy the Greek was fired.
He should have been fired. Because you can't do that.
Have you spoken to him?
I spoke to him this morning. You know, he was down. I think it was beginning slowly to sink in.
To this day, of all the things on the NFL today, that's the one that I feel the most emotionally about.
You're never going to be able to replace Jimmy the Greek. But on the other hand, you can't stand behind anything that he said. I mean, it's just, it was shocking.
Then I had to read the statement that was written for me, which was the only time that I ever used a prompter at a playoff game.
You know, on Friday afternoon here in Washington, our former colleague Jimmy the Greek made some regrettable and offensive remarks for which he has apologized. Yesterday, CBS issued a statement disassociating itself from those remarks. It goes without saying that his comments do not reflect in any way the thinking or attitudes of the rest of us here at CBS Sports. While we deplore the incident this weekend, we are saddened that our 12-year association with Jimmy had to end this way.
That broke him. It was a terrible ending for him, and he never had a happy day on the earth after that incident.
We have just learned that Jimmy the Greek Snyder was admitted to a North Carolina hospital today after he complained of chest pains. Snyder was fired last week by CBS Sports.
He went downhill physically, emotionally.
I hate that face when you look like that. It's not right. Get your spirit up. Get going. Don't worry about my guys. They know what I think about you. Yeah. Don't worry about my guys. Too.
Hey, good luck. I'll be in touch, okay?
All right. Now you do what I tell you, okay?
All right, yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Promise?
I promise. That's the guy.
All right. I see.
The last time I saw him, he had someone pushing him in a wheelchair through a casino. He hadn't shaved in months. To this day, I'm saddened about the end game for the Greek.
Philadelphia has just kicked a second field goal. They lead the Vikes and the St. Louis Cardinals, as you can see. They were beating Buffalo. And, of course, we are quickly running through the scores, aren't we? When I say quick, folks, even I can't keep up with that.
Studio presence, to me anyway, has a shelf life. And I wanted to be out in the field more. I wanted to actually be at games.
Flutie flushed. Throws it down. Caught by Boston. Boston College. I don't believe it.
I was fortunate enough to be able to do college football on a Saturday and then come back on Sunday for the NFL Today.
Brent was a part of everything that CBS did.
Brent shows up at Butler Cabin for the Masters.
College football.
The NBA.
Horse racing.
The NFL Today.
U.S. Open tennis.
Pan American games.
College basketball.
Welcome and good evening, everybody.
He was the most powerful sportscaster in the country and wielded power that probably no one else has been able to wield again. I think it got to the point where they didn't like how much power he probably wielded.
They're going to have to push the ball to get it done.
We were in Denver for the Final Four. I was the host. Brent's calling the games with Billy Packer. We called the semifinal games on Saturday. When the doubleheader ended, one of our vice presidents came over and said, "Hey, Brent, I need to have a word with you." We all said, "Okay, Brent, see you tomorrow." Billy, see you. I headed up to the room. What went on after that was Brent was told that night that they were not going to renew him.
CBS executives said that they wanted to spread the work around. But the man who was supposed to add baseball play-by-play to his already extensive duties didn't agree. Musburger's contract is up in July, but his last event will be the NCAA Finals.
If you want to complain about someone because he's doing too much, so be it. Have at it. If that's the biggest complaint about me, I'll take it, okay? But I knew that, okay, my life will go on, but we've got a game to cover here.
You are looking live at Denver, Colorado, a city which has done a splendid job of hosting this NCAA championship game.
I mean, he handled it with great dignity. The game was a blowout. I think everybody stayed around to see what Brent was going to do at the end.
Folks, I've had the best seat in the house. Thanks for sharing it. I'll see you down the road. Now let's send you to Jim Nance.
And then I made an agreement with ABC before the next week was over.
Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Terry Bradshaw, and we welcome you to the NFL Today. And
the next group added their spin to it and their personality to it. And Greg Gumbel sitting there with Terry, that was a really fun and good mix, right?
Turn, you fire the football, you say, "Rocket! Rocket!"
And here you are 4 decades later, and the DNA of the NFL Today is on the set when you turn on TV on Sunday.
And from 98 through 2003, I wanted to honor it. It was at the core of every show that we did. I'd like to think it still is.
And my hair needs to be fluffed up.
We're going to take Phyllis.
Okay, you look good. You're a real star, Brent.
I think Phyllis opened up a lot of doors for all of us to enjoy the many great female sportscasters that are out there now.
No, I'm going to stick with Roger because he's incredible in the 2-minute drill.
Jayne Kennedy, I just don't think she's ever received as much credit as she deserved.
When you were a defensive back, did you ever get burned by the flea flicker?
I was never burned by any
Come on,
play,
just
Brent.
once or twice.
You know, with Irv, it's nice to see the tributes to him about becoming the first African-American sportscaster in a big studio show.
Would you like to be known as the greatest linebacker ever? Come on now, I gotta hang in there. That's right.
And the Greek was a groundbreaker too. He made it acceptable for talking about gambling on sports.
Take a close look at my favorite Greek on this Sunday morning. See that twinkle in his eye?
And Miss Phyllis, Mr. Greek, Miss Irv, you know, I hate to have lost any of them. You know, walking through that door and seeing the replica of the original set. I didn't cry, but I thought about it. I'll tell you that. And when you get to be an old man like me, it's great having people like you remember. Thank you.
And for Jimmy the Greek and Irv Cross and Phyllis George, I'm Brent Musburger, and we certainly hope you have an enjoyable afternoon watching the NFL Today on CBS.